What secret weapon has killed more living creatures than any other disease, force of nature, or man-made weapon? What cuts through the earth like a knife, turns steel into dust? It cannot be seen, it cannot be felt, it cannot be heard. It doesn't care how you treat it, because it's unbiased and merciless. But we all want more of it. It's time. And most of us are disrespecting this most important resource because once it's gone forever. We are born into this world a fresh set of clay. No preconceived notions of right, wrong, good, bad, poor, or rich. Play is our favorite hobby. Why is our favorite word. And everything feels, tastes, and sounds amazing as if we are just starting to explore our new world. Then we start school and we start to learn more about time. We learn our days of the week. Monday is a label we put on the beginning of the week when we start school, and we identify Monday as a day that we have to do things we'd rather not do. Friday, on the other hand, is the last day we have to go to school, and we equate it with the end of doing things that we are forced to do. Saturday and Sunday is when we get to play with friends and family, and those days are our days of freedom. We will spend the next 624 weeks living in a structured system that requires permission to use our time. School starts at 7:30, math starts at 8:30, lunch is at 10:30, and your last class ends at 2:30. We have to ask permission to use the bathroom. We are supposed to do as we're told. Don't talk unless we raise our hands, stay in a single file line, and follow instructions. Don't be late for class because you will get a mark on your permanent record, and don't miss class unless you get permission. And use your time to study to get good grades because failure is bad. The scarlet F branded on our work followed by punishment were grounded. No Xbox, no YouTube, no screen time.
Plus? C plus! C plus!
Our internal programming begins. Most graduate from high school, go to college, and earn a degree no matter the cost or demand for that degree. We finance our college education with student loans and pre-approved credit cards we've already maxed. We graduate with a major in liberal arts and a minor in pottery, making us no different from the millions of graduates with the same degree looking for jobs. Only now we are $100,000 in debt. I hope you know how to make Ming vases. We graduate and get a job because it's less risky and we need benefits. However, we agree to live in another structured system where we trade huge chunks of our time 5 days a week in exchange for a piece of paper called money. We wake up at 5, brush our teeth, shower, eat a sugary cereal, climb into that car we financed for the next 5 years at 7% interest, and then we spend the next 1 or 2 hours in bumper-to-bumper traffic with thousands of other people who are also dreading what the next 8 hours has in store. Finally, we arrive at our prison that we call an office, a cube, or a desk. We poke at our computer, file those TPR reports.
If you could just go ahead and make sure you do that from now on, that would be great. And I'll go ahead and make sure you get another copy of that memo. Okay?
Return those emails, fix that Excel spreadsheet formula, and constantly get interrupted by the office gossip. The day wears on as we feel our motivations slowly start to wither away. Unexpected absences are not allowed. We can't take a day off to see our son's baseball game, or go to our daughter's soccer game, or take 2 weeks vacation with our family. Because other than a couple of holidays on Saturday and Sunday, our employer graciously grants us a certain amount of free time, but we have to ask permission to use it. But we grin and bear it because we are trapped by the bills, the mortgage, the credit card debt, and the student loans for the degree we aren't even using. Finally, the clock tells us when we can leave. So we commute back home with the same thousands that suffered a similar soul-crushing day. We get home, if we're lucky enough to have time, sit down with our family and eat a meal made with ingredients we cannot pronounce. We play with the kids, if we have them, put them to bed, and then vegetate in front of the TV to mindlessly forget the day we just had. Finally, we trudge up to bed, fall asleep, and wake up and do it all over again. Crap, it's only Tuesday. We live the same routine, wake up, traffic, work, traffic, eat, TV, sleep, and repeat. And we do this 5 times a week. We schmooze our boss, travel more, work longer hours, and climb the corporate ladder while missing more games, parent-teacher conferences, and time with our spouse. We hate our job, tolerate our coworkers, but love that paycheck because we can now buy that cool sports car, house on the lake, and that awesome Armani suit that we saw Matthew McConaughey wearing. We buy more clothes, more cars, more things because popular pop stars own them too. We pay more taxes, more bills, more car payments, higher mortgage payments, and higher credit card bills because we deserve the nicer things in life. Hey, I have to reward myself for working hard. We continue working, continue spending, continue to distract ourselves with mindless entertainment. We continue to dread Sunday night and dread Monday more, but we start dreaming of retirement. And we contribute to that IRA and index mutual fund that Guru told us about on the radio. We continue to trade time for money, but hope, pray, and trust start to become our new strategy. We'll trust that we will get that 2% annual raise because we hope that after 20 years of being a loyal employee, our company will always be loyal to us. But we pray that the market will always have a job for us just in case they aren't. We hope for a 15% return on our retirement fund, but pray to avoid a depression or a market crash. We hope we'll be able to retire by 65. We pray that our home will always appreciate. We trust in the compound interest in all of our accounts. We trust that Social Security will still be a thing when we are old. And we hope and pray that the money we've been saving will be enough to allow us to do the things on our bucket list. We reach 65 and realize our bucket list is still full. Our portfolio hasn't grown at the rate we expected. Social Security barely pays for our mortgage. We still have large amounts of debt. We can't retire. We can't play. We need to work more, save more, and trade more of our precious time for that piece of paper called money. Unfortunately, time is up. Time doesn't care that you never got to go on that African safari or volunteered for that charity or that you missed all of those sporting events. Time is unbiased and merciless. Knowing that, why don't we value it like we value money? One of the concepts I learned in my overpriced MBA program was the time value of money, which in its basic form states that money today is more valuable than money tomorrow. Without getting into the math, $100,000 today is more valuable than $110,000 10 years from now. We mistakenly assume that time is unlimited and can be mindlessly wasted while money is a coveted, limited resource. So why is time not discounted the same way? I will agree that spiritually, time is infinite in its existence. However, in terms of a human life here on Earth, each of us has the same 24 hours or 1,440 minutes a day. No one gets more, no one gets less. In the 2011 movie In Time, humans have their forearms stamped with a countdown death clock, which ticks towards the end of life. Their life rations are easy to see, and work is not paid in money but in time added to your death clock. Working one day might earn you 2 days back on your clock. Now, you may have never seen this movie, but it paints a powerful picture of a concept that we can apply to our lives. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median salary in the U.S. is about $1,000 a week, or $25 an hour, assuming a 40-hour work week. And let's say you really want that car that costs $35,000. In this fictional world, that car will cost you 1,400 hours off your clock. That means 1,400 more hours spent in a job you detest, boss you don't like, and coworkers you tolerate. And that doesn't take into account the interest on the loan you need to buy that car or the taxes you will pay on your wages, which will mean more hours you need to work. But I wanted to make the math easy. But you own more than just a car. That $500 Xbox? 20 hours. That $1,000 suit? 40 hours. That $150,000 home? 6,000 hours. As you can see, the more you buy, the more hours you need to work to pay for those items, and the more we become dependent on that job. Why do we work Monday through Friday or pay 5 days of time just so we can earn 2 days of freedom, Saturday and Sunday? And we don't get our initial investment of 5 days back because time spent can never be returned. Would we ever make this type of money investment in the real world where we not only lost our principal, but also had a bad negative rate of return? If we had a death clock on our arm, would we spend our time differently? Would we still spend that 2 hours a day in traffic only to spend the 8 hours in a job we hated, or 2 hours a day in mindless entertainment? Or how about spend 80% of our time hoping and praying that we can spend the remaining 20% of our time in retirement? Don't we think our time and life is more valuable than that? If we believe in the time value of time concept, then we believe in respecting the value of time because it is a limited resource. If we don't, then we disrespect time. And there are two types of time, free time and indentured time. Free time is time we own, and it's the most important time. No one has claim on it. We can sleep when we want, travel when we want, read when we want, work when we want, and do whatever our heart desires. And when we work a 9-to-5 job, we are locked into a system that doesn't respect the time value of time. It only allows us to have free time only on the weekends or whenever we ask for permission to use our allotted free time. Indentured time is time someone else owns: school, studying, work, traffic, etc. Consider two different lives, each granted 80 years of life, each getting the standard 24 hours a day. The difference between the two is what kind of time they have and how they respect or disrespect time. Steve invests his life work in a school, college, and 9-to-5 job system. He experiences 65 years of indentured time while only enjoying 15 years of free time, 9 years in his youth, and 6 years of his health challenge years in retirement. He never gets to start that business that he wanted. He never gets to take that trip to Tahiti that he always wanted, never got to take his kids skiing in Switzerland. He never got to take 4 months to travel in Australia. He missed his son's basketball championship. He missed his daughter's acting debut. He never, and more nevered. James, on the other hand, respects the value of time. He experiences 25 years of indentured years while enjoying 35 years of free time, mostly after he retires in his 40s. He doesn't know what never means. His vocabulary is filled with when, where, and hows. When their time runs out, who do you think will have increased the intensity and frequency of life experiences? Who will have had more friendships, traveled, contributed more, started that business, wrote that book, spent more time with friends and families, and had a greater impact on the lives of others? When that clock runs close to zero, who will be filled with thoughts of should-haves and could-haves, and who will be filled with thoughts of fulfillment? So what did James do differently? How did he change the path that most of us started when we were young? He changed his programming. He realized that time is more important than money. He realized that time is limited and should be valued more than money. He realized that instead of wasting time playing video games or watching TV, he invested in himself. He read books, took online courses, and watched educational videos on YouTube. He used time in the car to get an education by listening to business courses and listen to motivational podcasts to increase his skills and improve himself. He realized that instead of trading time for money, he instead focused on providing value to people, coming up with solutions to problems and helping them reach their goals and dreams. The more value he provided, the more money he earned. He also learned about automation and putting in the work up front. He learned about creating passive income and how he could earn money while he was sleeping, traveling, or spending time with his family. So instead of being a consumer, he was a producer. Instead of borrowing money, he lent it. Instead of looking for a job, he created jobs and hired others. In short, he became an entrepreneur. Look at Forbes' list of the world's billionaires and you will see that entrepreneurs dominate that list. Jeff Bezos. He had the vision to start a company out of his garage in Seattle that delivered books to people's doorsteps, and now Amazon.com is an e-commerce giant. Jay-Z, although he made millions off of his great music, he also amassed a large portion of his wealth from the many businesses he started and then sold. Bill Gates co-founded and built the world's largest software company, Microsoft, after dropping out of college. Oprah Winfrey. She started out as a news anchor, but then spent 25 years hosting her own show that provided massive value through entertainment and self-help to millions of viewers across the country. And she used the profits from her show to build a media empire. Mark Zuckerberg co-founded one of the largest social networking websites on the planet from his college dorm room, and more than 1 billion people use Facebook daily. And Michael Jordan, one of the greatest athletes of all time, made his money not only by providing value to the people through playing basketball, but he also was able to make over $1 billion because of his Nike Air Jordan line of shoes. And each and every year, more entrepreneurs join the Millionaires Club. Entrepreneurship is about problem solving, creating convenience, satisfying desires, and becoming valuable. When you say, I want to be an entrepreneur, you are dedicating your life to solving problems. An entrepreneur understands that money flows to the one who creates value, enriches others' lives, and solves problems. And they believe in contributing to the greater good. Entrepreneurs start software companies, retail outlets, product lines, media companies, marketing companies, anything that can solve a problem or satisfy a need or desire. Jim Rohn stated, "You get paid for bringing value to the marketplace, and if you're not very valuable, you don't make much money." But ask any entrepreneur why they became an entrepreneur, and you will hear answers like, I love the ability to set my own schedule around my family life. I love the freedom to work when and where I want. I can decide my own hours. I have the ability to arrange my life around my own priorities. I love owning my destiny. Being an entrepreneur ultimately gives us the ability to control our most valuable asset, our time. So if being an entrepreneur sounds so awesome, how come everybody isn't one? Humans tend to move towards things that bring us pleasure and avoid things that bring us pain. Unfortunately, our programming conditions us to believe that we are safer going to college and working at jobs that will give us a steady paycheck and health benefits. We fear that starting a business is risky and will cause tremendous anxiety that we want to avoid, even if we don't like our job. But a steady paycheck through job security is a myth. Trust me, I know firsthand what it's like to be laid off after 15 years of being a faithful employee. We've seen more layoffs, rising unemployment, and stagnant wages than ever before. Also, how does that meager 3% annual raise stack up against faster rising home costs or college tuition? What's really riskier? So is being an entrepreneur easy? Absolutely not. Being an entrepreneur takes blood, sweat, and tears. It takes consistent and persistent action. Entrepreneurs understand the concept of delayed gratification. They understand that they will work long and hard with little to no reward at first. And entrepreneurs understand that passive income is not truly passive. They know that they have to put in an extraordinary amount of time today to build something only to enjoy passive income later. The successful entrepreneur doesn't let their failure stop them. For them, failure is the opening line for their next success story to be told once they achieve the results they are expecting. Is entrepreneurship for everybody? If you like to stay in your comfort zone, if you think you will get rich quickly, if you procrastinate, if you can't learn from your mistakes, if you can't solve problems, and if you don't take action, then entrepreneurship is probably not for you. Is it worth it? Well, how does this life sound? Most entrepreneurs get to wake up in the morning not because they have to, but because they want to. There is no 2-hour commute. They have no boss. No corporation telling them when they can use their free time. They get to go to that soccer game, baseball game, dance recital. They can coach if they want. They own their home free and clear. They have no credit card debt. They can sleep when they want, travel when they want, read when they want, work when they want, and walk outside and be taken wherever the wind blows. So is becoming an entrepreneur worth it? Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and if you liked it and want to see more content like this, please hit that like button. It means the world to me and it really helps my channel grow. And leave me a comment down below if you think entrepreneurship is more or less risky than getting a job. Remember, this is just my own experience living in both the 9-to-5 world as well as the entrepreneur world, but I really do feel that our time here is so precious and I don't want to waste any more of it. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.